Stop number 19 on the Castrol GTX Cup Series brings us to the Magic Mile, New Hampshire National Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire. As we're set for 45 laps of action on this racetrack. It's the running of the Slick 50 300 as we're set for some great racing. Get some racing here today. We had a great race down in Daytona for the Pepsi 400. As the second half of the season has already started here for the series, and as we said, the road to the championship weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway, the season finale, I should say. That'll be a few races from now, as a matter of fact. Here, actually, a total of 16, in fact. Here's the lineup for today's running event. On the pole, it is Zach Rogers, three-time winner of the season in the Skull Bandit Chevy. He'll be flanked by the number 25 car, Phil Parker, in the USW Delphi Chevrolet. Second row is Kat Batson, car 28, Texaco Haviland Ford. She'll be flanked by car number 4. It is the car of William Brock, who's car number 4, starting position number 4. That is. Third row, Levi McIntyre, 99, the number 99, the Aflac Ford Fusion. He is alongside Nathan Orman, car number 1, the Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. Fourth row has our winner at Riverside, Keith Batson, the Quality Care Services Ford Credit Ford Taurus. Alongside of him, the Motorcraft Quick Lane Ford of Benjamin Miles, car 21. Next round has the 9 car of Zachary Fitzwater and the 18 of the winner at Talladega. It is Matt Haas. Next round has car 24, Charles Sanford. Alongside of him, car 19, it is Carson Gum. Next round has Johnny Gardner, number 12, the Alltel Mobile One Dodge, and the GM Goodrich Chevrolet car number 3, Cole Deaver, sits alongside Gardner with winner this season at Pocono in the Alltel Dodge, where we're actually heading to next race on the tour, believe it or not. Next round, Ryan Brommer in the Valvoline Ford, car number 6. He'll be alongside car number 30, the Gunmount Pontiac of Shane Lake. Next round has car 22, Dylan Poteet, and beside him number 16, Paul Minnick. Next round after that would be car 15, Quality Care Ford of Ryan George. And the winner at Auto Club this season, it is Seth Cole in the K-Love Ford. Next round has Dylan Young in car number 2, and number 26, Zach Winkle, sits alongside. Next round after that would be car 01, Jesse Turner in the U.S. Army Pontiac. Flanking him outside would be Kyle Matthews in car 42, the Coors Light Chevrolet, the Coors Light Pontiac. Next round has car 43. It is Mike Becker in the STP Pontiac, and number 00, Kev Shearer in the Aaron Stream Machine Toyota. Next round is Jackson Haywood, number 7, and number 5, Jay Jefferson. Then it's number 11, Mitchell Collins, and Emmanuel Hartnett in car number 20. Next round after that, Rob Evans in car number 8, and beside him will be Tristan Allen in 14. Then it's Joshua Osborne, who's won the last 2 races of the season, going for 3 in a row. He won the Michigan and the Pepsi 400 at Daytona in car 78. Beside him would be the winner who surprised them all at Charlotte, Matthew Logan in the 32 Tide Pontiac. Next round has the Atlanta winner, Quentin Moore in the 89 Racing with Jesus Dodge, and Sky Cummins in car 40, the Coors Light Dodge. Next round has a pair of Chevrolets, 31, James Henry, and 48, Michael Whitman. Starting shotgun field will be Daniel Bouchard in 55, and beside him, number 71, Jeremy Diaz in the Team Realtree Chevrolet. You got a couple of New England heroes, by the way, and you got a few people from up in the New England area actually in this race, as a matter of fact, as well. You got the Batsons and Haywoods actually all hail from the state of Maine, which is the one of the New Hampshire's neighboring states, and of course the man who starts from the pole, Zach Rogers, is from Massachusetts. So you bet there'll be some there's some desire and incentive to win here today, obviously, for the New England fans here on this track. With that being said, let's get the command to fire the engines for this, the Slick 50 300.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Field rolling off here. In fact, two of our New England drivers will be carrying in-car cameras today. Keith Batson's one, and the other will be our pole sitter, Zach Rogers. Those two will be carrying the in-car camera, and our third in-car camera will ride inside Kyle Matthews' car. That's who all will be carrying the in-car camera here today. As the field heads down the backstretch here for this right as they are about to get the green flag. Zach Rogers has won 3 times this season. His wins came at Texas, Bristol, and Richmond. He has not scored since that win at Bristol. He would like to score one here today, obviously, for his 4th win of the season. He leads them all by way of 3 wins on the season. Osborne's the only one. His other ones won multiple. In comments, he's the only 2 as other ones have won multiple times this season. Green flag flags are underway in the Slick 5300. So 3 drivers have won more than once this season. Rogers, Matthews, and Osborne. Matthews and Osborne have both won 2 this season as the field comes off the second turn onto the backstretch in the third turn. Zach Rogers leads him down into turn 3. Kat Batson moves inside for second place as she takes position away. She's got the help from Levi McIntyre, 99. And I shouldn't say the word help because because here at New Hampshire on a 1 mile track or any 1 mile flat track or flat track you go to, the word drafting does not come into play. Much like we saw last race on the tour at Daytona, where drafting meant everything, and of course it will the next race on the tour at Pocono, because you do get a bit of a draft on that track as well. But on a 1 mile track, it's basically pretty much anything goes. And of course, you don't run restricted. Of course, unlike Daytona, you don't run restrictor plates obviously here at New Hampshire or any other track on the tour, except for obviously Talladega, because that's the interplate track. But still, it's it's all the horsepower you can muster here at this racetrack in New Hampshire. So Rogers leads, Parker second, Kat Batson's third, Levi McIntyre fourth, William Brock goes to fifth, Nathan Orman in sixth, Keith Batson seventh, eighth is Benjamin Miles, ninth Zachary Fitzwater, battle for 10th between Matt Haas and Charles Sanford. There's Haas, the Interstate Batteries, Shell, MB&A, Wicks Filters, Pontiac. Trying to get all that out of one breath. Battle for second just up ahead right there. That's Kat Batson trying to get by Phil Parker in number 25 car. Parker is another driver that's won this season. He won at Darlington in the Dodge Challenger 500 this season. McIntyre, he was the winner down in Dover this season. So those two drivers have one win this season. Check our field run down here. Sanford runs 10th position. 11th is Matt Haas. 12th, Johnny Gardner, matching his car number. 13th is Carson Gum. 14th is Shane Lake. 15th, Ryan Brommer, giving that Valvoline car a good ride here today. Cole Deaver, 16th. 17th is Dylan Pote as they battle for position now in the 3 and the 22 machines. Chevy on the outside, Pontiac on the low side as they come off the fourth turn, and Deaver holds that spot. That's 16th. 17th is... Actually, 17th is now Paul Minnick as Pote goes to 18th. 19th, Seth Cole. 20th is Ryan George at the moment as they come off the second turn. Seth Cole, another one from the New England area. He's from New York. So you can bet Seth would like to win one here. And of course, Jesse Turner also from New York. So quite a few from up in the New England area, as you might imagine, here on a track like this, and so they all would like to win here on this racetrack for the fans. Right now, Jesse Turner's in a bit of a hornet's nest here. Seth Cole, Ryan George, Dylan Young, Zach Winkle, and right behind him, Kyle Matthews. Matthews looking to gain some points on the leader, and the points Joshua Osborne, which right now he would, because Osborne right now, Matthews is currently running, clocked last time out in 24th. Osborne, last time I was clocked in 31st position. So is he now gets by Mitchell Collins in the 11 car. Not a good qualifying run for the 78 team though, so you can bet Joshua would like to do some hard racing to try to get near the front. Matthews obviously the same thing. But Rob Evans goes to the low side in the 8 car, but Osborne shuts the door on him. There's the rest of the order for you right there, with Daniel Bouchard and Jeremy Diaz trying to decide who does not want to be dead last at the moment. Unfortunately for those two. Back to leaders, it is still all Zach Rogers all the time here at New Hampshire International Speedway. But still Parker starting to close up in that 25 car. Batson runs starting the 28. McIntyre and Brock is the 4th and 5th place cars at the moment. So you got Chevrolets first, second, and 5th right now, with Fords running 3rd and 4th at the moment. The first non-Chevy and Ford product in the field right now is currently being run in 11th position by Matt Haas in the Pontiac. And then the leading Dodge is Johnny Gardner at the moment in 12th position in car number 12. So, single file at the moment here at New Hampshire at the moment. And Parker is closing up. It's now down 21 hundredths of a second between those two cars. Plenty of racing left to go, though. Still 13 in the books and 32 to go. You have to look at the fastest laps of the race so far. The fastest lap set by Nathan Ormond at 139.226 miles an hour. Qualifying very, very fast here at New Hampshire, at least for a 1 mile flat track it is. This track kind of reminds you somewhat of the Milwaukee Mile, where of course they ran the Busch Grand National and the Truck Series races at, of course, actually what's now Game Year Outdoors Truck Series and the Xfinity Series. And of course, they also ran IndyCar on that track as well as ASA back in the day. This track here actually was this track actually ran Busch Grand National, what's now the Xfinity Series again. Before Cup first came to town back in 1993. The New Hampshire track actually was first opened the Busch cars in 1990. So this track's been in existence for a little over 30 years at the moment. So the top 10 drivers stay pretty much status quo at the moment. Meantime, battle for 11th going on between Johnny Gardner and Matt Haas. Haas has the position at the moment. Gardner wants it. He had to hold off Carson Gumbo in the 19 cars, now under fire from the 30 of Shane Lake. Lake runs 14th, Brommer 15th, 16th is Deaver. Be hard to try to make a pass here on this track. Obviously, several drivers have tried but have failed to do so. The outside lane here in this New Hampshire seems to be the lane of choice, actually. The short lane, as we explained many times before, at least on a bank track at least, you run on the high side, it gives you more straightaway speed and more momentum as opposed to the low side, despite the fact that the low side is the shortest way around, so sometimes why the high line can give you the advantage. But on the flat track, it really doesn't make any difference. If you're on the high side, truthfully, you're screwed on the high side. Usually you would be. But this highline actually works well at New Hampshire, to be honest. And we've seen so many drivers get a run off the high side. And pretty much keep position. Shuffle going on back there. Seth Cole trying to hold up Dylan Young and Zach Winkle right now. Winkle in the 26, Young in the 2, Cole in 98. And up ahead of them, 15 of Ryan George. Here comes Kyle Matthews to the high side of Mike Becker as they battle for position as Matthews falls behind Jesse Turner in 0-1. Or should I say Becker falls behind Jesse Turner in 0-1. Becker's going to take position at the moment, but Matthews fights back on the outside of the track. On the backstretch, 40 there. Matthews in 42, Becker in 43. Pair of Pontiacs. One a 1997 model and the other a 1995 model. In the meantime, here comes William Brock to the low side of Levi McIntyre for position. That's for fourth place. But they all preferred to give McIntyre a little bit of help, and he keeps position. So McIntyre stays in fourth. William Brock stays in fifth position at the moment. Brock still runs a pretty good run at Kodak Film Chevy. He had a top 10 run at the Pepsi 400 at Daytona a race earlier. "24 laps in the books and 21 to go, so past halfway home in the Slick 5300. Phil Parker still staying close to Zach Rogers at the moment. Couple of opposing states between each other. Rogers, we mentioned, from Massachusetts. Parker is from way down south in Louisiana. So you can bet the Raging Cajun like the spoil of the day for the New England native. Off turn number 4 they come here. Now McIntyre trying to close up on Cat Batson. A pair of Fords are there. McIntyre in a Fusion, Batson in a Thunderbird. Off into the third turn they come here as now McIntyre tries to peak to the bottom of the racetrack here, but he stays in line behind the 28 car. Back bumper with Zach Rogers' car. See the speedometer on the top of your screen right there. Right there, the speedometer and the gear he's in. He's at, right now, obviously, fourth gear is where he's at right now. Down about 112, go in the middle of 3 and 4. Here he comes off the fourth turn, 130 miles an hour. And he'll go into turn number 1 at 161 miles an hour. Down about 111 in the middle of 1 and 2. Now comes off the second turn, 130 miles an hour again as it comes on the backstretch in the turn number 3, and again 161. We saw 161 blink just barely in the turn number 3. Comes off the fourth corner. So it's like the ride along at laps at just over 136 miles an hour in the case of Zach Rogers. Bill Parker still keeping it very, very close here at the moment. Off to number 4, and again Gardner and Matt Haas are back at it again. Haas in the 18, Gardner in the 12, and now Shane Lake follows suit in the 12 machine, or in the 30 machine, and he's going to try to give Gardner the push he needs. And now Carson Gum says, heck with this, I'm going to go with Johnny Gardner, and whoa, Haas had some power on the high side of the track. And now they're gonna dice it all up there back there. Gardner takes 11th now. So at least you got some passing going on here, trying to have some passing going on here. And now they go into turn number 3. Let's see what Haas is going to do in that third turn. Meantime, Lake trying to hold off Brommer at the moment. Brommer in the 6th car, Lake in the 30. In the turn number 1 they go, and now you got Dylan Pote trying to get past Cole Deaver. Lake in the 30, Brommer in the 6, Deaver in the 3, and Pote in 22. So top 10 cars have pulled away from each other. This pack of cars right there, well, like I said, dicing up back there, and obviously, and as they see Pote go to the low side, he will get the push from Paul Minnick and try to get past the GM Goodwrench Chevy of Deaver. Deaver holds position for the moment as the Georgia native and the Kentucky native go toe to toe with each other. And I also want to throw in New York in there. Seth Cullen, that number 98 machine, as he goes to the low side of the track. Pote pulls ahead by about 3/4 of a car coming off turn number 2, but Deaver has to speed to turn 3, and he will keep position. Deaver just floored the throttle on that Chevrolet, and he just says, I want to keep that spot, and I'm not going to let anybody else have it. So Cole Deaver keeps 16th. Pote runs 17th. Seth Cole trying to go for 18th on Paul Minnick. Meantime, up ahead, Carson Gum trying to get by Matt Haas. That's for 12th place at the moment here on your screen. This time by completes at number 37. We have 9 last number 36. It's going to complete at number 36. Excuse me. We have 9 to go. Battle going on between Benjamin Miles and the 9 car Zachary Fitzwater as they go in the third turn here as Fitzwater fights up on the high side of the track. Off into turn number 1, Miles keeps that spot as from Fitzwater as the Hendrick cars that he and Fitzwater and Charles Sanford run together. Fitzwater in 9th, matching his car number, and Sanford running in 10th position. This will help Charles out in the points too, because he currently sits 3rd in the standings coming in this event. Talking about the man in the Jeff Gordon colors. There he is. And if Kyle Matthews and Joshua Osborne stay where they're at, Sanford's going to gain a whole lot of points on those 2 drivers as far as position is concerned. We mentioned Sanford's 3rd in the standings coming into this event. Well, he's quite a bit behind the front 2 cars in the points. So we'll see. The points, of course, as always, will be distributed at the end of this video as we get through this broadcast here. As they come off turn number 4. That time by Rogers leads the 40th lap. We have 5 laps to go. Battle for third place happening right here. McIntyre trying to get inside Batson, but still too far behind. 3 laps to go. Meantime, Benjamin Miles trying to find some room to run on the outside of the track as he tries to get a run on Keith Batson. That's for 7th. Two laps to go. There's the view from Batson's in-car camera. Roof cam on the Quality Care Ford. White flag this time by here at New Hampshire. Zach Rogers from the state of Massachusetts trying to hold them all off. For one more lap, he sees the white flag. He has 1 lap to go in a slick 5300. Dominated qualifying, dominated the practice sessions, and he has dominated the race here so far. About to lead possibly all 45 laps in this race if he holds on these last 2 turns. In the 3rd turn, he goes to Skull Bandit Chevy. Parker tries to close up a little bit, but off to number 4 he comes where it all counts. Zach Rogers has it in the bag. Zach Rogers wins the Slick 5300 at New Hampshire. It is his 4th victory of the season, and it puts him right back up there in the contention of the points. He had slipped back just a little bit after a few struggling runs in about the middle portion of the seat in the last few races, but he's done it here today. Led all 45 laps from the pole. And somebody was sitting on pit road. James Henry had crashed somehow in the last lap of the race, apparently. Average speed 136.782. Zach Rogers wins. 2nd will go to Phil Parker. 3rd to Cat Batson. Levi McIntyre will finish 4th. 5th will go to William Brock. Nathan Orman comes home 6th. 7th will go to Keith Batson. 8th to Benjamin Miles. 9th to Zachary Fitzwater in car number 9. And Charles Sanford holds off Johnny Gardner to finish in 10th position. Average speed again, 136.782. That's the average here in today's event. As 19 races are now in the books and 15 races left to go on the season. The next race on the tour will be at Pocono Raceway. And some thinking we were just at Pocono a few races ago. Well, yes, we were, but we are heading to Pocono again for the running of the AC Spark Plugs 400. That's next on the tour. Rest of the finishing order for you here. Johnny Gardner comes home in 11th. 12th will go to Matt Haas. 13th to Shane Lake. 14th to Carson Gum. 15th, Cole Devers as he got around. Ryan Brommer in the last couple of laps. Dylan Poteet 17th. 18th will go to Seth Cole. 19th, Paul Minnick. Dylan Young comes home in 20th. 21st will be Ryan George. 22nd position will go to will go to Zach Winkle. Jesse Turner 23rd. Kyle Matthews 24th in today's event. So he will close up a little bit on the leader, Joshua Osborne, who ends up finishing 29th. Mike Becker 25th. Kev Shear 26th. Quentin Moore 27th. Jay Jefferson 28th. And Mitchell Collins will end up finishing 30th in today's event. Rob Evans, Sky Commons, Tristan Allen, Manuel Hartnett, Matthew Logan, Michael Whitman, Daniel Bouchard, and Jeremy Diaz was the last cars to finish on the lead lap in this event. Jackson Haywood and James Henry both had problems and both fell off 2 laps down. So that will do it today at New Hampshire International Speedway. Congratulations again to Zach Rogers, the winner of the Slick 5300. If you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe to the NNSCRA Sports and Gaming channel. We got everything on this channel. We got interesting gaming videos, whatever the president of the NNSCRA Seth Goals are for his channel, and also has some NNSCRA online stuff in this channel as well. And be sure to check out Seth's new series, the NNSCRA Pedigree Xfinity series. Be sure to check that series out, along with his Duracell Cup series and of course also Michael Norman's Bonus All Pro series is also on his channel too. And to keep up on the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, be sure to subscribe to Thrash Maniac 99's channel, and he'll get you going on that series as well. Some of the best offline and online and gaming stuff are under the NNSCRA umbrella, and you want to regret checking those rest out neither. So that will do it here today at New Hampshire International Speedway. For now, this is James Qualls in production of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best. We will see you at Pocono.